there's something I've needed to say. And this isn't easy. It's especially hard, I think, because I'm a professional. I'm a pediatrician for over 13,000 patients. I've got close to probably 10,000 families that rely on me. I've been an educator. I've taught residents and medical students. I'm at the top of my game professionally. I'm an addiction specialist. It's really difficult to share personal stuff, but it needed to be said. I'm an alcoholic. There, I said it. I've known for a really long time. I drank alcoholically from the time I first tasted alcohol. I didn't like the taste, but I loved the effect. Absolutely loved the effect. I only had a couple opportunities in high school. I was in Africa on a mountain in Swaziland. My parents were missionaries, had no opportunity. Lord knows what I would have done to myself if I had had opportunity, because I absolutely loved the effect. So fast forward, I come to the States for college and I become a binge drinker real quick. I mean, I can really put away the alcohol, at least back when I was drinking I could. And then there's just that embarrassment as you start to realize you have a problem and you can't stop. That was me. I knew for almost 15 years that I couldn't stop. That's ridiculous. I could do anything else I wanted to in my life. I mean, I set out and I started case conferences. I'm teaching residents and medical students. I become a child abuse expert. I join a big practice. I've got a booming practice, but I couldn't stop drinking. Once I took one drink, there was no telling how many I would drink because I wanted the effect. I think there's a lot of people who struggle with various addictions, whether it's alcohol, opiates, food. I've pondered since, right? How did I become an alcoholic? I mean, I had it all, really. I mean, a pretty darn good childhood. Well, when I came to the States, I was alone. I found myself isolated, and I wasn't even aware that I was under tremendous pressure. And I wasn't handling it well, so I turned to cigarettes. Just that momentary, if you've ever been a smoker, you know there's just a split-second momentary, I don't know what it is, but it's so addictive. And so I was a pack-a-day smoker. I became an alcoholic fairly quickly, although because I was in college and then medical school, it was more of a weekend binge drinking kind of a thing. So I was able to really stretch out how long I drank alcoholically because I would detox every day and then I would detox during the week. Ultimately, I was drinking every night. So that was how I got myself to sleep. Basically drank myself till I fell asleep. I did it fast too because I was so busy, so functional. After work on the way home, it would start. And by 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, I'm ready to pass out or I'm passed out. I'm not proud of it, but I wanted you to know. I think it was time just to be straight out. Here's the deal. I've had problems with cigarettes, big problems with alcohol. Those are my two biggies. And I've struggled with food on and off. I never could get really healthy. Drawn to sweets, to processed foods, to carbs, overeating. And I just wanted to be upfront about this because I know a lot of people struggle. So, I'm helping people in my clinic in little ways, my own patients. Then I started an addiction clinic because I wanted to share more. And I finally realized I've got to do more than that. There's a whole world of people out there hurting, and something needed to be done. And who better than I, because I knew it, I've lived it, and then I've become an addiction specialist on top of being an integrative medicine doctor. So I had a lot to bring that can be helpful for folks. So I wrote a book, The Addiction Spectrum. And it's turned out to be quite a masterpiece because it takes you through the why of it all, the what you can do, and really tangible things that anyone can start implementing in their lives. So I'm at the publishers in San Francisco and they say, why don't you put on a summit? We need an addiction summit where you bring together experts, people from all sorts of areas that can either give people an understanding of addiction or help them through the recovery process. And without knowing what I was getting myself into, I said, okay, man, within 3 months I had to have it done, and it's done. The Addiction Summit is completed. I have interviewed 28 authors, experts, and folks, stories that gave me goosebumps, stories that made me cry, and powerfully important information that's all available for free. You just have to sign up. So the link will be in the description. You can just sign up for the summit. If you watch it as it rolls out starting August 13th through the 19th, it's yours to just take as much of it as you can. I'm excited that I could bring that to you, but I just wanted to be honest that part of the power of all of this is that I'm the host, I'm doing the interviews, and I'm bringing people back to being real. Because too often as professionals, we want to just sort of tell you what to do, pretend like we know it all, and not be personal about it. No, we cut right to the core of the issue. What was interesting in doing this summit is I had several people I interviewed who had no intention of coming out that they themselves had problems, and they had to. I mean, it could be as simple as, I'm addicted to people's approval, right? I'm one of those people that always seeks others' approval. And, that sort of thing came out. I've got Ray Lozano, who tours the country talking to high schoolers and parents about how to talk to your children so that they don't fall into addictions, or if they're falling into addictions, how to pull them back out. I didn't know how to do that. I raised 9 kids. Many of them had challenges with substance use or various issues, and I wasn't a master at that. He is. I mean, his story made me cry. It's talked to some folks who had so much abuse and childhood stuff that you don't even know how they survived. You get to hear all these stories. You get to hear from the likes of Marv Seppala. He is the MD, Chief Medical Officer of the largest nonprofit treatment center system in the country, Hazelden Betty Ford. And when he shares, it's from the heart, because guess what? He's one of us too. He himself got out of addictions back when he was in college years and has maintained a charge to help others that he carries on to this day. And when you hear his share, you're going to hear love. You're not going to hear intellectual, although he's incredibly smart, but you're going to hear heart. You're going to feel heart, and you're going to be touched. And I could go on and on and on and list all 28 of the speakers, while one of them was myself being interviewed by my co-author, so you get more of my story in detail. But I want you to watch this. I want you to share this with everybody you care about. I don't think there's anything more important than getting a handle on those things that are taking the life blood right out of us, right? If you've got an addiction, it's just sucking life right out of you. And most people, or many people, end up in that jumping off place where it almost seems like suicide is the better, softer way because they're in so much pain. And you don't need to be in pain. And your friends and your family and your loved ones and those you care about don't need to die from addiction, don't need to be suffering. There's a way out. So join me in sharing this information with everybody you care about. I'm Dr. Paul, and thank you for watching.